Why is it important to regularly review your life, and how can you do this? Well, stick around because I'm going to tell you now. So, I have been caught up in many times in autopilot mode, just doing a load of things and didn't even notice I was doing the wrong things, like eating the wrong things or perhaps spending too much time on social media, looking at comparing myself to other people rather than having my own time out, just chilling and relaxing. And I know I'm not alone because I coach many people and I've coached many people, and when I've coached people, or whether I've helped someone, or whether I'm having a conversation with a friend, we all have bad habits. So it's really important that we start to examine our habits. And we're not perfect, right? We're all going to have bad faults. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Those celebs out there are not perfect. Someone you might inspire to. We all make mistakes. But it's really important to review our habits and our actions and everything we're doing. Because if we're doing so much self-sabotaging behaviour, not even realising it, it's only going to make us miserable. And if we start doing the things that make us feel good more often, if we consciously become aware of them, then we're going to become happier in ourselves and have better self-esteem. And if we start doing habits that are productive, that are going to make us progress, we're going to gain confidence. So, as I said, I've been in places where I just not thought about it and just been looking at my phone, getting up, waking on my phone, or I was going through a really bad time. I remember going through some dark times and I'd just be looking at my phone, not eating well and just treating myself really badly and not even thinking about it because I had work in the day, and then I didn't even give myself time to think. But what I do now is a series of processes. Now, as I've talked about in a previous video and I've talked about previously, okay, some people don't like planning and things like that and like living in the moment. Now, it's great, and I agree with living in the moment. It's the best place to be rather than being caught up in the past where you can't do anything because it's happened, or the future, you can't control what's going to happen. But by planning and evaluating our life, it's going to put us in a much better position. Don't script out your life. No, you've got to allow flexibility and fun. But if you're in a place where you're really getting caught up reacting to everything, that's not a good place to be. So that's why I'm really a big fan of process and planning. So the first thing I'm going to suggest is a weekly process or habit review. So it's a process of reviewing your habits. Basically, as I go through the week, I write down, right, okay, I suppose I gave myself not enough time there and it was a bit stressful, or perhaps there's one habit I'm not really focusing on. Maybe I'm not getting enough writing this week when I really enjoy writing. Maybe I'm going to bed too late, which is a very common fault of mine, and therefore because I get up early it's causing a lack of sleep and I'm not as energetic or my mood decreases. It could be anything. Just go through your week, noticing what habits may be falling out of place or new habits you need to add in. And then in this weekly process, what you're going to do is look at your calendar and think about, right, how am I going to schedule in more of this habit? How can I think about cutting out this habit? Journal it a little bit. Maybe get someone to ask someone to be accountable to, so you cut out a habit. Just, you need this time to reflect on a week each week to understand. So I would suggest making a list of habits or changes as you go through the week and then reviewing them on a weekly basis. My second one is it leads on from my goal setting video, but reviewing your goals and making sure what you're doing at the moment is in line with the goals. You're more likely to hit a goal if you're reviewing it regularly. Also, if you're writing it down, you're accountable to someone. But for this purpose, just reviewing your goals and making sure your behaviour and your actions are in line with it is going to create this reality check of, oh, am I doing the right things or not? So, regularly looking at your goals board, and I'd suggest doing that every day. Just your top goals, look at what your goals are, so that way your brain can constantly focus on it. And we've got a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. And this allows us to focus on certain things. So if we start focusing on negativity or think about negative thoughts or something worrying us about us, it will pick out all the information to do with that. But if we start wanting directly trying to focus it on something good, it will start picking out all the information around that. So if you start looking at your goals all the time, it's going to start identifying information and things and activities that are going to support you to hit those goals. So constantly reviewing them. And this is the problem with when people do New Year's resolutions and they forget about them by the end of the year, or even like 2 months, because they are not reviewing them, and they're not reviewing whether their current habits and what they're doing day to day is in line with them. And then the final one I suggest is getting a coach, or if you can't afford a coach, because coaches can be pricey. I've had coaches and I am one, but I would recommend a coach because it's a good investment in yourself. But if you can't get one, get a good accountability, or not accountability, but get a friend, or get someone you know quite well know, who's maybe into personal growth like yourself. And then what you've got to do is just have conversations with them, because they'll be able to, they won't necessarily tell you directly, but they might ask you, if it's a coach, they might ask you questions, and that'll create awareness of, oh yeah, maybe I'm doing that. But having conversations with other people is really going to help create your own awareness within you, but make sure it's with someone positive who you can actually share things with as well. So that's the importance of why you must review your life regularly. It's really so you don't get caught up on autopilot mode, and you can get in line with what your goals actually are. And I suggest doing that by weekly reviewing what you've been doing, are the things you've been doing serving you, looking at your goals board to make sure what you're doing is in line with where you want to go, and getting a coach, and if not, getting someone you can talk to who can help you evaluate your life as well. So thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it and you feel it's really valuable for other people, please share with your friends and family. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can of course subscribe as well. And I will catch you in my next video.